Hello and welcome to this special presentation of Business Without Boundaries, brought to you by Possum IT. Your presenter, Adrian Floate, is the Managing Director of Anthem Software and is Australia's foremost expert on mobile computing solutions. Anthem are winners of Microsoft's Partner of the Year and are the developers of the award-winning Reach mobile solution.
Thanks, Pat, for introducing us. Basically, I'm going to just run through the Reach product stack, and really my objective today is far more about educating you guys as to what we can do, as opposed to saying here's a product and you should use it. So hopefully you actually get a bit of value out of it. I'm going to run through not just our software, but also touch on other things which are real requirements in terms of being able to get rid of paper in the business, and that's principally what we're talking about. Our business is about competing with paper. We very seldom compete against other software companies. So yeah, rolling forwards, I suppose if you look at it, for about 17 years now, software has been a mainstay in business. So principally you can go in an organisation and you would see some form of software-based electronic records management. And the real issue with that, and the reason why paper has remained such an important part of the way business is done, is that those software products very rarely actually deliver a business process. So if you speak to an accounting software vendor, they'll tell you what a wonderful sales order processing module they've got and how that impacts the business process. And the reality of it is the rep probably hasn't even seen the accounting software, and therefore no business process is affected when you actually want to make a transaction occur. So the rep's taking the order on paper, or they're phoning the office and saying, hey, how you doing? I need to know what did X, Y and Z pay for X, Y and Z last month, and I need to know if I've got stock of it, and I need to know if I don't have stock, what other substitute products can you get me? And really that stems from the fact that software traditionally has just been a front to a database, and that's where it's grown from. I want to catalogue information. Probably the only software, and the software which is most closely aligned to what we do, is point of sale. So if you think about a shop, it absolutely delivers a business process outcome. It ensures when I scan an article that the correct price is complied with, the correct quantities are input, etc. And obviously at the end of the day I get a total and I complete the sale. And that's right across the board. I suppose one of the advantages of the Possum business is their expertise in that point of sale environment. So basically, how do you actually move forward on paper and get rid of the paper dependency? I guess the bottom line is that people need to think about actually completing an information set once. So in other words, I want to create a record now and have that record move through a series of stages, and at every stage I either append or complete that record set so that everyone that's participating in the business process can actually see what they need to do in order to complete that business process, and everyone that's observing it equally can actually see what's outstanding and obviously where everything's up to. So ultimately our software is communications, because it is replacing really two core pieces of communication that people undertake today. A piece of paper correspondence, whether that be fax or email or physically hand delivered, and voice. So if you speak to a lot of sales and service organisations, their biggest issue will be how long the phones are tied up with internal calls, and giving exposure to information which exists inside the organisation to people that work outside of it. So what does a field service business look like to us? Well, from our point of view, the better your service, the more likely you are to get referral business, and particularly in IT, you will see that very seldom do IT businesses have salespeople. They're almost devoid of sales. You truly have the nerd as the salesman, and effectively how fast you propel a spin sort of denotes how successful you'll be in the marketplace. I suppose that if you speak to a traditional service business that has a sales outlet, and any sales-based churn sort of business, they'll tell you that if it wasn't for their quality service, sales wouldn't make their budgets. And speak to telco guys, speak to photocopier guys, they'll all have the same attitude about the way that they deliver their service. So service business to us is anyone that supports, installs or maintains infrastructure or equipment. So we don't care if it's a computer, a photocopier or a fork truck, a car, it really is totally irrelevant to us. Their objective is that they are there to advise their client on either what to buy, what they need to undertake in order to repair something, what they need to do to prevent it from happening again. And although we don't probably value particularly trade type organisations as consultants, that's absolutely what they are. They absolutely provide professional advice on what I need to undertake to prevent or maintain and maximise the utilisation of whatever it is that I've purchased from someone. More often than not, service providers need to quote. Lots of service businesses will be all about their techs upselling. So increasingly we're seeing sales kind of KPIs coming into service, and conversely in the service or in the sales business we're seeing service kind of values coming into the sales model. So we want more transparency of activities in the sales business. They probably have the authority to order on our account, so they can actually buy on behalf of the business. So they've got a fair bit of distributed authority and probably with limited control. So some businesses will have, call the office and the office will order parts. Other businesses, particularly trade businesses, the guys will just drop into TradeLink or into Bunnings and pick up the bits. Certainly, if you look at our business, traditionally speaking, if our guys needed a hard disk, they went down to a DMA or an Ingram's and they got what they needed. And we found out about it retrospectively. So our approach now is to turn that around and actually put some proactivity into the way we go about doing what we're doing. I guess the final thing to raise is a good service business will also uncover sales opportunities. So we'll actually be able to say, hey, this customer's got 2 machines here and they've got 4 other machines that we don't manage. You might want to get one of the sales guys in there and actually see what we can do.